If you haven't yet registered with Bet in Kenya, all you have to do is SMS the word Mariga to the short code 29456 and you'll be ready to play. All right, we'd like to move on with more FA Cup action and take a look at Chelsea here. 3-0 victory, Willian double, Hudson-Odoi, who has been in the middle of a lot of talk in terms of transfer. Bayern Munich interested in him, but a good win for Sarri and his men. Your thoughts, Fred?
Well, first of all, I'd like to congratulate the young man, Odoi. He's one of players who has really given me something to watch in Chelsea because currently he's been involved in 5 goals in the last 5 starts for Chelsea. So that's not no mean feat. And you realize that Chelsea have only lost 1 match in the past 38 home FA Cup matches. They've won a total of 32 and they've picked 5 draws. So it's a team that has some sort of consistency as far as the FA is concerned. And when you look at the flip side, Sheffield Wednesday have not won any match when they're playing against a team that is in the top league, more so when they're playing against the top team league in the FA. Yeah. So when they moved into this match, I think all odds were against them. Yeah. The kind of firepower that they provided was quite low. And I think that's another reason why they could not really afford, they could not even string passes, 5 or 6, before Chelsea could intercept.
So it's too easy for Chelsea.
This one was more or less easy for Chelsea.
You'd expect Higuain would get in the score sheet.
Well, yes.
But what did you make of his performance debut? I mean, the striker they've been longing for.
I think I was impressed. He might not have scored a goal, but I think he did so much better than Alvaro Morata, has been doing. Sheffield Wednesday is one of the most physical sides in as far as the championship is concerned, and I think he handled that part of his game really, really well. I did not see him getting out muscle. I did not, see him losing balls easily as a result of not being able to really use his body or his frame to shield the ball. Something that Morata clearly was not able to do in as far as the English Premier League is concerned. I think his positioning was also awesome. His runs were very, very good. He always knew where the spaces were. He always knew where to run. And I think his link-up play was also very, very good. There are very, very few balls that he lost, from the midfield. He's a player who has the ability to come deep, play with his midfielders, while trying to create space for other players to get into. So generally, I think he had a very, very good performance. And as far as his confidence is concerned, I think he's yet to work on that. He has not gotten to the level that we all know him to be in, because I saw an incident when Chelsea got the penalty where Willian walked up to him, and I think he must have been trying to ask him whether he wanted to take the penalty, just so that he could get his first goal at the earliest opportunity possible, because a lot of strikers always struggle with getting the first goal, and it's not until you get the first goal that you can really feel at home. So I think he had an opportunity to take the penalty, but he was not confident enough, because Willian ended up taking that particular penalty. But again, generally, I think he had a very, very good match. And as far as Hudson is concerned, a very, very young player, a promising player. I think we all saw the potential that he has, but I don't think he's there yet. I saw a few moments where he was very, very naive, a few moments where he was indecisive. His decision making was not that good, but I can't take anything away from the goal that he scored. That was a super goal. I think the coach,
who can thrive at Bayern Munich?
Well, not now, not at the moment. I think the demands of the German league is something else altogether. He's still a young player. Exactly, he's still a young player. I think the pressure that he's going to get at Bayern Munich might probably pull him down. But again, if he remains at Chelsea, he's not going to be guaranteed of a lot of playing time. For him to play in this particular match, I think they are just trying to dangle a carrot. That's a carrot that they are dangling, trying to convince him to sign his contract with them. But there's a lot of potential. He's of course a player that's going to do so well in the near future.
Because he did mention even after the game, he still doesn't know what's going to happen. Very quickly, do you think Higuain will solve Chelsea's problems, Fred?
Well, I don't think. I think the better days are behind him. Higuain, yes, he was a good player then, but I think time has gone, because look at the kind of opposition. For example, this match that they played against Sheffield Wednesday. Sheffield Wednesday managed only 1 shot on goal. they did their first shot in the 72nd of the match. Within 72 seconds, they had already taken a shot on goal. But in the entire match, they didn't take any other shot. But going back to your question, I think Higuain he used to be a good player. I think his time is up. He might not perform the way he performed in the other teams that he was in. I think it's just a stop-gap measure, which might not really work because Chelsea is a demanding team, not only from the fans, but look at the kind of opposition that Chelsea is currently facing in the top 5 of the English Premier League. That kind of opposition needs a prolific striker, needs a very young, swift and agile kind of player, which I don't think Higuain is anything close to that.
All right, last week I asked a question on my social media handles. Do you think the signing of Higuain is a hit or miss? I got so many different answers, hit, miss, hit, miss. I'm taking it a miss for you.
Me, it's a big miss.
For you?
It's a miss for me as well.
It's a miss for you
looking
as well.
at his age and the fact that they decided to again, loan out one Batshuayi, because I think if you're struggling in that particular department, you might as well struggle with a young lad who's still learning the ropes, rather than struggling with people who are seasoned, people who have their experience, but they're still not delivering. So I would have really preferred Batshuayi in that role.
All right, that's a loan move for Higuain as well. 31 years. So you guys, the age not on his side, mainly.
He did so well at Napoli. He did so well at Madrid. Well, he tried some magic at Milan, but I think time is up.
It looks like that's going to be the main signing for Chelsea this January window. What do you think would be now a successful season for them, Anthony?
Well, I think it's a loan signing at the moment. They still have to agree at the end of the season whether they want to part with more than 30 million. For him to be a permanent player at Chelsea. Well, a good season for Chelsea right now, I think, would be a top 4 finish, ensuring that they play in the Champions League next season. And then again, just try and get a domestic title, because they're still in the FA. They stand a good chance. They've been doing well in that particular competition, and of course, the opponent that they managed to a win against the other day were not like minnows at all. So I think that's also going to give them confidence in that particular front. So if they could get a domestic title and finish top 4, to me, that would be a good finish for Sarri.
All right, now let's move our attention from England and head over to Spain and take a look at what has been happening in Spain. La Liga action over the weekend. We have 3 games we'll be focusing on and taking a look at the table as well. Gentlemen, we'll start off with the top 3 teams. Atletico Madrid beating Getafe by 2-0. Barcelona also beating Girona by 2-0. And of course, Real Madrid beating Espanyol by 4-2. Now, all top 3 teams recording wins here. We'll start off with Atletico Madrid, their result, and what that means also for them in this title race.
It means that they're still in contention. Just lost 1 match out of 20. For me, is a good push. They really need to just keep it on, because I'm seeing Madrid might not really hold on for long with winning, because the kind of things we've seen at Madrid, I think it's not conducive for them to just keep on pushing. But that one will give Atletico that chance to keep on moving on. I said they have only lost 1 match out of 20 La Liga games. It shows that the confidence is still there. And the moment you have your confidence, work on it and make sure that you take advantage of it. And they're doing it so well, winning match week in, week out.
Fantastic. Now, Real Madrid, it's a long shot here for us to consider them challengers to Barcelona. I mean, Atletico are the only ones that right now the possibility to catch Barcelona. But for Madrid, they'll be happy with where they are right now, yeah?
Oh, they should be happy. Looking at where they were at the beginning of the season, looking at how things, are threatening to unfold in as far as Madrid is concerned, I think at some point it was a bit worrying. So right now, I'm pretty sure they should be very, very happy. Things are looking up. They're starting to slowly, creep up the table. They're not in a very, very bad position right now. But then again, the difference in terms of points between them and Barcelona, is quite big. It's still huge. I'm not seeing them catching up with with Barcelona anytime soon. But then again, as far as consistency is concerned, I'm not sure they can keep up the momentum that they have. I'm not sure they can keep on, getting the wins that they need to get in order to remain there. But looking at Atletico Madrid, yes, I mean, in 20 matches, they've only lost once. I mean, even the mighty Barcelona have lost twice this particular season. So that just tells a story of a team that's very, very compact. They don't get to score many goals, but the 1-0 score lines that they've been getting have been good enough to ensure that right now the difference in terms of points between them and Barcelona remains at 5.
All right, speaking of Barcelona, 2-0 winners here against Girona. Semedo and Messi again on the score sheet. Well, just going about the business here, Fred.
Messi is always doing his thing. This is his 26th goal of the season. It gives you a story of a player who is always fit. Because if you're not fit, you might not be, you cannot perform the way he's performing. Because when you score week in, week out, year in, year out, you're always creating more records week in, week out. And I believe that he's going to perform even better. Because 26 goals, I'm not seeing him stopping at 26. He might even do 30 or 40 by the time we're done with the league. So it helps the team to keep the push because you need to keep your pressure on before the Atleticos or the Real Madrids catch up with you.
Speaking of Atletico, we have to sneak this in. Diego Godin, their defender, captain, leader, won La Liga with them, has signed for Inter Milan and will join them in June. It is reported. I don't know if it's confirmed yet, but he will be leaving Atletico in June. How big a loss would that be for Atletico, because he's been a loyal servant?
Oh yes, I think that's going to be a massive blow for this Atletico side, because for them to win titles, for them to do as good as they've been doing in the last couple of seasons, I can attribute that to the fact that they've had a very, very solid backline, and I think that backline, of course, has been marshaled by one Godin. And as you said earlier on, it's not just his football prowess that makes him stand out. I think his leadership ability as well just makes him a very, very unique player to have in a team setup. So for them to lose him, at this point in time, that just spells doom for Atletico Madrid, because there are some players that you can't quite replace. Yes, you can get a player that can't play as good as he does, but then it's the leadership quality that we're talking about. It's the organization which is vital in terms of defending.
All right, let's have a quick look at the table, what those results mean for the table over in Spain. We have Barcelona, who are still top with 49 points. We have Atletico Madrid, again, their win remains second with 44 points. We have Real Madrid with 39 points. Sevilla, again, 5-0 winners over the weekend, remaining fourth with 36 points. It's almost like this top four has taken shape because Alaves are 4 points away from Sevilla, of course, with a game in hand. So too soon for me to speak on that one. But very quickly, Real Madrid, you think they'll be happy with a second place finish? Is it doable for them?
Yeah, they might go to second if they keep on pushing, but that one might not be possible if Atletico
keep chasing Barcelona.
Keep on chasing the top guys, Barcelona. I think Madrid might not reach where Barcelona is this season because that's a drift of about 10 points. And I think the Madrid derby is still not there, and the La Liga, the second leg match,
more points will be dropped.
Yeah, so their points might be dropped, and I'm seeing the tilt moving negatively towards Madrid losing. So I'm not seeing them catching up. The only way they can help themselves is close in on Atletico Madrid.
What would be a successful season for Santiago Solari, Anthony?
Well, definitely it would have been winning the league. That's not going to happen at this particular time. But I think the fact that the team can just play well together, can gel together, can finish in the bracket that's going to guarantee them Champions League football next season. They can probably try and get their hands on a silverware, preferably Copa del Rey. I think at that point, yes, the fans are not going to be happy, but the management of the team is not going to be happy, because looking at the history of this club, it's a very, very big club, a club that has been winning the Champions League trophy for the last 3 seasons consecutively. So for them, to stoop as low as to just be happy with a top 4 finish, it's not going to look good. But I think right now, looking at where they've come from, looking at everything that has happened in this particular club this season, losing a coach, losing one of their talismanic players, I think that's the best position that they can take. And